All right, well, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for coming in today. We appreciate it. It's all right, you can keep talking. It's all right. No problem at all. So this is our monthly sales meeting. I do want to tell you thank you very much for coming out and attending. My name is Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker here. I've got a lot of great things to kind of share with you today. Like today, I'm going to be going over several different things. We're going to talk about the state of the market, what's going on, all that kind of stuff as far as sales goes. We're also going to be talking about sellers and kind of some new data that we have about what's going on with sellers. And then we're going to go over what are some real opportunities for you and hopefully to get you to help you sell more. So before we do that, I brought Tyler with me. Sweet. Hop up.
Yep.
All right. And so you want to tell them who you are?
Yeah, of course. I'm Chandler Matthews.
Oh, Chandler. I just called you Tyler. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got Tyler.
There is a Tyler.
You're Tyler today.
There is a Tyler.
I'm just gonna keep calling you Tyler. That's
fine
fine.
by me.
Chandler. Sorry.
I'm Chandler Matthews with FMLS. I'm the member service rep for this area. So I taught a class here last week. I left some business cards. I'll leave some more today. Anything y'all ever need FMLS wise, y'all can reach out to me. Just a couple new things we have at FMLS. We just released a new ad edit platform. It's AI driven. It's called OcuSell. We have another webinar coming up on it March 20th. It's an hour long you could take. It is dual entry with Georgia MLS as well. With the AI driven technology, you type in the address of the property, it fills pretty much every field for you.
It speeds up. The average time is running like 10 minutes total.
It's crazy.
To enter a listing on things. It
it
really is kind of creepy. Like it's pulling data from everywhere. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
No,
keep talking
you're
too. So, but it is like we've got in and played with it,
No, yeah.
and like we're like, wow, this is pretty slick.
It's
So
I did a test one just with my parents' house down in Albany, and it filled like 50 of the fields for me in a matter of like
Does
a
it have to
minute.
be something that was listed in the past to find photos and stuff, or like never?
So you'll still upload the photos.
yeah, you're not allowed to use other people's
You'll
photos.
still upload the photos,
I
but
mean, but I mean, for it to fill out stuff, like, does it have marble floor, does it or did it have to see photos for that?
like my parents have lived in the same house since like I was like 3, and it filled like 50 of the fields for me.
Well, it used to be FMLS would pull FMLS properties, Georgia MLS would pull Georgia MLS properties. With this one, it doesn't matter. It's pulling from tax records, it's pulling from public data. And so it really is pretty slick and it's speeding the whole listing process up a good bit.
Yes, it's crazy. So we have that webinar on March 20th. Again, that's dual entry with Georgia MLS. We have another webinar March 27th on Finding Homes by Lundy. Finding Homes by Lundy was originally, you want me?
Yeah.
No, sorry about that. Finding Homes by Lundy was originally for the visually impaired, but you can connect to your Alexa device, app, anything like that, and say, hey, Alexa, start finding homes. You could say, give me property details on 111 Main Street, whatever the address is. Alexa will talk back to you and give you all those property details. So it can keep you safe, maybe hands-free driving if you're going to a showing, anything like that.
Does it work with Google?
They're trying to get that. Yes, they're trying to get that. It's just it's just Alexa right now. It's just Alexa right now. But it could be
It's Amazon anyway.
it could be the device or the app. There's an Alexa app. I'm not sure if it's a free download Alexa app or not. But it is. Yeah, so you say, Alexa, start finding homes by Lundy, and you could say, give me property details on a certain address. And again, it's for the visually impaired, but also can keep you safe, hands-free driving, anything like that. So that's our big 2 AI things this month. We just released a couple new data shares as well. Our referral network has grown up to over 420, connecting over 425,000 real estate professionals across the country. So it's the biggest referral network across the country. It's a lot of eyes on your listings. It's great exposure for your listings, and great for referral opportunities as well. So we just released a couple more of those. One's in Ohio. So you could check those out, also vice versa. There's a lot of people moving to this area as well. So definitely check those out. Just a couple more things, a couple apps I'd like to tell you about. We have a Remine app that you can download. Remine is our nationwide search. You can find any property in the entire country, whether it's on market, off market, anything like that. So it's great for farming, maybe getting your name out in a certain area. You can print mailing labels for free with the property address or tax address. So, I can print mailing labels and the property may be in Roswell, but the tax address is somewhere in Florida. So you can know how to get in touch with that owner. So that's great for farming. We have a CE class over that. The Remine app, Showing Time has an app. I'm sure you're all very familiar with Showing Time. And we now have an MLS Touch app. MLS Touch is your search on the go. It's a free download. It's a free login. Again, it's called MLS Touch. When you download it, you just select Georgia as your state. You select FMLS. You log in with your FMLS username and password, and it links up with Matrix. You have your saved searches. You have a map search. You can search by criteria. Again, a free download, free login. So we definitely recommend that because we don't have like a FMLS app per se, but that MLS Touch is your search on the go. And then the last thing I want to tell you about is Relist. Our Relist product just got a big update as well. That's our big public records database. You can search for public records in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. You get public records for any of those states and counties in those states. So again, definitely check out the OcuCell. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on it. We have a webinar again, March 20th. It's on Zoom. I think it's from 2 to 3, but you can sign up on our dashboard. OcuCell and that MLS Touch app as well. That's your search on the go. Again, that's a free download as well. That's all I have for you.
Well, I do want to talk one thing real
Okay.
quick, and that is I still see a lot of folks have not taken the opportunity to sign up for Forewarn. And they
Yes.
can, and you can access Forewarn now through Georgia MLS or FMLS,
Yes.
either
Mhm.
one. That is
Yeah.
that is a great safety tool. If
Definitely.
you're not using it, please do,
Yeah.
because it gives you a chance to check folks out beforehand, see what cars that they should be driving,
Yep.
see if they actually own real estate, those kind of things. And if there's any kind of public records hits on them
Mhm.
kind of thing, you can kind of pick on that before you go meet somebody
Yes,
5
definitely.
miles down a dirt road,
Yeah.
back by where the chainsaws are.
Gives you background checks, everything like that. There's actually a link on our dashboard. The Forewarn icon is under member benefits. You click it, there's a link to download the app or go to the site, anything like that. And that's again, free member benefit. Everything through FMLS for you is pretty much a free member benefit. There's like one thing through Remind if you want to send like mailers and postcards that would cost more, but printing the mailing labels, getting the addresses, all that's free member benefit as well. So yes, Forewarn also.
Good job.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Chandler.
Of course. Thank you all.
All right. Well, let's kind of jump in here a little bit. Would you kill that light there for me, Sharon? Because I want y'all to see the screen too, when everybody else do as well. We're going to jump into what exactly is happening in our market right now. So I just pulled this data, like very, very recently. So pending sales are trending down, right? It's largely because what's been happening with the rates for the last couple of months. Now, they are moving in the right direction. Matter of fact, we are seeing a lot of growth there, but this is exactly where we're at right now. Pending sales are still down. Closed sales are still are down right now. And this is the top one is Georgia MLS. The bottom is FMLS. We've kind of seen this. We have been trending up slightly over last year, but not that much overall. Sales prices, though, are holding steady. They're not really. There's a very small growth in property values. 2.6% property appreciation in Georgia MLS, flat in FMLS. So we are seeing. Now, is that good or bad? Yeah. Well, honestly, like properties have appreciated at 4.5% for the last 50 years. We've had double-digit growth for the last 3 or 4 years, kind of thing. I mean, properties in Georgia are up about 56% over the last since COVID. So this is just kind of normal growth. We're in a really good place to be right now. But also think about what time of year we're in right now. Spring heads into summer, which is our best buying season of the year. So new listings are up. New listings are up 9% in Georgia MLS, 6% in FMLS. So we are having more inventory coming on the market. Good or bad? Very good, right? Because we spent several years looking for inventory to have. So we had more inventory coming on. As a seller, though, and as a listing agent, you got to make sure that you're doing your job right now, because the days of just putting it in the MLS, putting a sign in the yard and a lockbox on the door and just like waiting for people to like do the death cage match to fight for your listing, that ain't happening anymore. Because overall total inventory is up 30% in Georgia MLS, 45% almost in FMLS. So we have a lot more inventory. Previous was new inventory. This is how much standing inventory. So we're starting to have a lot more overall inventory, but when you look at like being this, is this inventory getting old? Yeah, we're seeing more price reductions. We're also seeing property sitting on the market longer. You need to know that as a listing agent, that the days of like, hey, I'm looking for all cash offers. I'd like to sell in 2 weeks kind of thing. It's not reality right now. It's not where the market is. Days on market also trending up, 72 days in Georgia MLS, 53 in FMLS. So these have been trending up. You can see the trends, how that's been kind of going for, especially for the last couple of years. So we are trending up in days on market. Overall, we have 5 months of standing inventory in Georgia MLS. We have 3.9 in FMLS. But these numbers are deceiving. And the reason I say that is, Carlos, you said it earlier, what time of year are we at? We're in the spring. What happens in the spring? Well, not only do that, but when do we start? Like if we're going to close in the summer, when do a lot of these transactions start? It starts right now. See, this is our bell curve here in Georgia. We're somewhere around here. We're ramping up right now, and so we're heading into a very busy time. So yes, we have a little bit more inventory right now, but what happens as the activity level is increased? Because that months of standing inventory, that's based on what we just saw was lower sales, and exactly, and now we have more inventory. So please don't think that that's necessarily what we're going into the summer. It is going to be a very interesting thing, because especially when you partner with what's happening with interest rates. Where have interest rates gone for the last 8 weeks? It is moving like a herd of turtles, but it's moving down, right? And so even this past week, it came down again. We seem to have kind of hit an inflection point, because just this past week, purchase applications were up 20% over last week and up 37% from the beginning of the year. So if you're waiting for folks to jump in the market, you're the one who's behind right now, right? That's a big deal. So let's talk about our homeowners. Because our homeowners are a little bit different right now. Nearly 9 in 10 homeowners have fears about selling. Is it important that you look at addressing fears?
Yes.
It's crucial. It really is. Like, this is the difference between being a great listing agent and just trying to sell a house, right? When you understand what their fears are, then you can alleviate those fears. And I'm going to show you some data. Guess what's the biggest thing?
Sorry,
Mhm.
Maine said, would you ask Alan to share the screen? We see video of him, but not a screen.
I am sharing the screen. She's the one not seeing it. It's on your side, man.
You're sharing you and the screen, but not just the screen.
Oh no, to them, I'm sharing the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all everyone's up there in the little boxes. I'm sharing the screen.
Oh, okay.
So it's Ming's having technical difficulties, I'm guessing. So all right, you're throwing me off, Ming. I was on a roll. All right, so let's but when we look at the fears, of course, like the biggest fear is just overall the stress of selling. Is selling your home stressful?
Yes.
Yes. Do we need to show empathy for that?
Yes.
But sometimes it's very easy in our industry just to kind of be like, yeah, you're selling a house. It's a transaction, right? For us, is it an emotional deal in a lot of cases?
Yeah.
Okay, it can be emotional. I'm with you, but generally speaking,
No.
no, like we didn't raise our kids here. We don't have those marks etched into the doorways, and we don't have those memories. They do, and so it is. They're very worried about the cost of selling. But one other big one here is, can I find a different home? You can't
Hey,
make them
Alan,
homeless.
really quick, I am so sorry to interrupt, but we're
Okay.
seeing video camera, not necessarily your screen on the camera.
Sweetheart, it's you. I hear you, but I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm sharing the screen. It's on your end. Log out, log back in. Sorry, folks. So, all right. So, getting back to this, if you're going to be a great listing agent, what else do you have to be? Well, a psychologist does help, but do you also have to be a good buyer's agent? Because no one's gonna move if they're homeless. And so either you have to have a network where you have someone that's gonna help them find their next home, because if they don't have a house to go to, they are not going to sell. That's a big deal that we're seeing more and more.
They don't see a screen share, they just see the camera view presenting.
Okay, we're gonna stop again. And I'm gonna try.
I don't know what they're seeing, so.
So let's see. Okay. Let me use my belly, which is not good. Is it really? Doesn't seem funny. Alright, we're gonna try that. Someone's ring is going off. Okay, we're gonna try it again. Hopefully everybody can see our screen now. We'll try it. So,
There we go, they say.
okay, there we go. Now, what are some things that would entice sellers right now to sell? I found this very interesting. A sudden increase in property taxes. Have you guys paid attention to what's going on? What's happening on property taxes? Is there a sudden increase in property taxes everywhere? Maybe not sudden, but everybody there, you know, like a rise in violent crime, I get that. And if you're building more housing around me, if the Federal Reserve drops interest rates, yeah.
What's the update? Am I wrong? Like, didn't the vote passed, that HB vote for like capping it at 3%, but then they're trying to be like, well, we know you guys voted for that, but we're not actually gonna let that happen.
Well, see, there's a difference between what the state says is gonna happen with property taxes and what the counties and municipalities say is gonna happen with property taxes. Because for the state, it's very easy to say, you know what, we're gonna cut property taxes, but it's the local counties and municipalities that set the mileage rates, sets the property values. So in a lot of cases, we're seeing where maybe they limit their rates, but I mean, what have you seen happen with appraisal values on property values? I mean, like the property values on appraisal, I mean, on where the values we're seeing show up on property tax values, those have gone up significantly.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of cases, 25 and 50% over where they were. So another one, if the Federal Reserve drops interest rates, and I know the market is all over the place. And so I do think that we are heading for some more drops in rates. And then insurance, what's happening with insurance rates? It's going up everywhere. So all these things going on, like really does say that we have a lot of sellers that are very interested in selling right now too. What would make you feel more confident as a seller? First one, have a home set up.
Already lined up.
Yep. Guaranteed offers. They like to have guaranteed offers. Don't be afraid to share what Open Door and OfferPad would actually give your seller, because when you do that, also do a comparative market analysis. So what it would sell for in the free market. But what's the third most? It's really right there at the top three. Guidance from trusted agent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, we are a source of comfort for our clients, right? We have to understand that. Half kind of thing, look for real estate agents for confidence. However, 3/4 are very worried about hiring us. What are they worried about? What are they worried about hiring us? Yeah. How much is it going to cost me? How much are you going to charge? What do we do about how much we're going to charge?
We can negotiate.
Well, we can negotiate for real, but like, are we talking about our value? Like, I think that's one of the big things that like we don't work for free, and we work really hard at what we do, but we need to be able to talk about the value that we bring. Like, let's just say that, let's talk about for sale by owner for just a minute. The average for sale by owner sells for $95,000 less than the average agent assisted home in the United States. Now, all those people were very successful in saving compensation, right? They paid a lot less compensation, didn't they? What else did they not do? They didn't get much money, right? Because see, there's a lot that goes into selling. And so the idea here is, and what I really want to stress to you is that we have to be talking about value. This is the value that we bring to a transaction. We are going to sell your home for more money faster than what you could do on your own. So it's not about charging it, but you have to understand that's their biggest fear. When after that comes in, you know, is my agent going to put enough work into my home? Are you going to pressure me to make decisions I don't want to make? That's a big deal on there. And are you going to care more about profit than you will about me? Right? These are very important issues here, because if that client can smell, I mean, like you guys have all seen other agents that have commission breath or compensation breath, right? Like all they want to do is do what? Just sell. All they don't care about anything else. They don't care about anybody. What I'm saying is that's a huge turnoff. If taking care of your clients is not the first thing on the list, and their needs is not the first thing on the list, you will not be a successful realtor. It just doesn't work for you here. So, under what situations would they fire you? I found this interesting on a couple of them. First one is only about 57% would fire you if you steal from them. I think that should be 100. I think if you steal from somebody, you ought to get fired. Okay, so I think that one's a little wonky. But then look at what their expectations here are for us, right? Don't pressure me into sales. Don't lie to me about having a license. I don't know why that would be. Maybe this is a nationwide survey too, as well. How about if you don't negotiate on my behalf? Like sometimes you have to make sure that like especially in our current market, we need to tell them what's going on in the market, but we need to let them know that we represent them and their best interest. All right. My agent's unprepared, lacks knowledge. They don't market my home. 50% of your sellers will fire you if you're rude to another agent or a buyer or seller. Mean people suck. Is basically what that says. And half of them will fire us over it. So like if you're late to meetings, I found these all to be very interesting points. Why these are your pain points for your sellers here. You got to make sure that we aren't doing these here, right? But what is our number one source for listings? Sphere of influence, right? Our sphere of influence is the number one reason here. That's where we get our business, is the people we know and the people that know us, right? Now, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average realtor's sphere of influence is between 300 and 500 people. Let's call 400, right? You guys feel that that's fairly accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Well, about 400 people. Now, the average agent doing 5 transactions. That's just average, right? So if the average database or sphere of influence is 400, and the average agent does 500 transactions a year.
How many times?
5, I'm sorry, did I say 500? Yeah. I got it right.
Dang.
We're not asking for the business.
Yeah, well, no, what that means is that 1% of your database is converting into transactions for you. And is that good or bad?
That's good.
That's good if you're Zillow, probably. Right, well, let's dig a little bit deeper here. Okay. I am having all sorts of technical difficulties today. Oh. Well, we're gonna keep trying. Okay, here we are. Sorry about that. This is the historical turnover in the United States. You know what that means? Let's talk about what I want to show you is the average turnover means that in the United States, 3% of America buy and sell a house every year. 3%. It was running in the 4s, and now it's in the high 3s. And so I say that your database is about 400 people. And if your database is about 400 people, and just the national average is 3% of them will buy and sell a house over the next year, how many transactions should that represent? Right? See, if we're working our sphere, we should have 12 transactions coming out of 400 people in our database. And why would we be averaging 5 when we should average 12 when we have a sphere of influence of 400 people? We're not connecting, right? And so like me as a broker, guess what I hear all the time from agents?
I need more leads.
I need more leads. I got no business. I need more transactions. And I sound like a broken record to you because I'm like, have you been calling the folks in your database, right? Because if you have 400 people in your database, that should represent 12 transactions for you in the next year, right? See, that's the big kicker here. See, like the average agent says that they want to do 24 deals. That's like when you poll realtors and agents, they say, how many deals you want to do a year? Average person wants to close 2 homes a year, or 2 homes a month, 2 homes a month. That's what the average person wants to achieve out there. And I think it's a great goal. But a lot of times we have this goal and then we're not doing the right things to actually make it happen out there. So like, what do we use to manage our database, our sphere of influence? It's up on the screen. Yeah, okay, yeah, come on. I know, like your database, your CRM, those kind of things. You have to have a way to manage this. You have to be intentional about what you're doing. This is your business, and this is one of the most crucial business tools that you have, because you have spheres of influence that are not selling with you. Because if they were selling with you, those 400 people would result in 12 transactions at least. And we're not talking about any of the lead systems here. We're talking about just your sphere, just your database for the average real estate professional. So we need to be doing direct outreach, phone calls, texts, emails, sharing property alerts, sending postcards, that kind of stuff. We need to be doing social media out here, reaching and engaging. But by the way, this is social media with your people, with your sphere of influence, right? We need to be stopping by, talking to them, doing pop-by events, holding agent events. All these are because these are your people, right? Because you got 400 people. How many transactions do you need this year? Just out of that one group, you need 12 transactions right here. So what happens when you start focusing on growing your database and engaging with your database? What do you think happens to your business?
More sales.
It does. That's where it comes down to really having true relationships on here. See, your lead systems are what you do to add people to your database, but your database is where your business really comes from. Now, when you start adding lead systems to that, some of those people are going to sell right now or buy right now. And you're going to add the folks that aren't ready to buy and sell right now, you're going to add them to your database. By the way, that's where the other 12 come from. But the big piece here is our database. Reason I bring this up is this hurts my heart. This is our company right here. This is our Bold Trail / KV Core. And now I can't see your leads. Although there's times like right now, I wish I could. Because what I mean here is like right now in our company, I got 119 people waiting responses from agents. I got 679 people that need contacts. We have almost 3,000 past due tasks. We have 2,500 people that are not getting any text, emails, property alerts, nothing.
What is it?
This is all of us together. This is the performance of everyone. Now, I can't go in and see your leads. I can't go in and say, Rich, you haven't called Bob Smith. But I can, as a company, say, you know what? I know that if we work our database and we do all those things that we were talking about, that represents a lot of transactions for us. See, we got to get away from chasing the shiny penny. It's about relationships here. And right now you have this huge resource that is not being, and I didn't want to hold the meeting today just to like bring everyone down and yell at you kind of thing. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I am trying to say is you're sitting on money. You're sitting on transactions because the average, like out of 100 people, 3 are going to buy and sell real estate this year. So if you increase your database and if you reach out to your database, how many transactions are you going to have next year? I mean, just do the number. Yeah, well, I mean, at least 12, right? Even if you don't do any lead systems, just follow up on the 400 people that you have. So please, I'm kind of begging you here a little bit. If you want to up that, these are the other lead sources that have a higher transaction rate than your database. So our database, on average, your database, 6%. You'll end up getting 6% of your database listed every year if you're engaging with your database. You'll sell about half of it, which is what we just talked about. For rent by owners right now, those people that have VRBOs and rental properties kind of thing, a little bit higher list and sell rate on there. Pre-foreclosures, we are not in the foreclosure wave. However, there's always people that are having financial issues and they end up going into pre-foreclosure. Do those folks need to sell or need to get taken back in foreclosure? What do you think? They need to sell, right? For sale by owners, 37% of for sale by owners will list with an agent. However, and of those, almost 17% sell. Expireds, 43% are going to list with another agent. So all I'm saying is there is a lot of opportunities. Now this is what all beside, not even counting our database. So when someone says, I really want to do 24 transactions a year, I'm just saying that there's a lot of business out there to be had if you're being real intentional about your business, as well as very intentional about your database.
But was that, sorry,
Go ahead.
that's on that, like 50% of homes that are listed aren't selling? They're just like being withdrawn from the market? Why are they all half once they say sold versus listed?
Well, that's how many actually sell.
Like they just.
I'm just saying this is the data. So like as far as like 37% for sell by owners end up listing with an agent, 16.7% sell.
So is there a stat that 50% of the homes that get listed on the market get withdrawn without selling?
No, but some of these like we already know that like expired listings, they were probably already overpriced. For sale by owners, did they know how much their home was worth? So we tend to have a lower rate on those as far as people that actually end up closing. Pre-foreclosure is a little bit different because sometimes they wait too late to actually get us involved, to be able to save a deal, that kind of thing.
Alan, quickly,
Yep.
the database that you mentioned, the previous screen,
Mhm.
how much of that is accurate? Because I know I get several, not several, I get a few referrals through the database to call and follow up or whatever, but they've already either been followed up on or they're just looking at the website or wherever that information comes from.
This one on here,
Yes.
this is just us in general,
I
right?
know. So
Yeah.
it's coming from our system,
Yes,
yes.
and I can't, because I can't look at your individual leads, I can't tell you exactly where that breaks down into,
Gotcha.
right? Like I wanted intentionally to set our system up so that everyone knew that I wasn't trying to take your business and that we weren't like, and I wanted you to have confidence that the clients that you had in your database were yours. So I can't see that.
Okay.
All right, I do want to touch about associate brokers, especially brokers and associate brokers. Who's got their broker's license? Associate broker's license. All right. Greg has changed the rules about education for brokers and associate brokers. In Georgia, an associate broker is the same as a broker, right? There's no difference. The only difference is you have a firm, but from Greg's point of view, we're all associate brokers for the most part. So when it comes down to that, the new education requirements is you have to have 18 hours of broker education as part of your 36 hours. You still have to have 3 hours license law. You have to have 18 hours of broker education, 15 hours of regular continuing education on there. Now, here's the kicker. It kicks in on July 1st. And if you are getting, if you have a broker's license and it's coming up for renewal, you can renew up to 120 days in advance. And I would recommend you do that before July 1st. Largely because Greg came out with this rule that said there has to be broker education and no one's got any broker classes yet. Like if I had to have 18 hours right now, I don't know where I'd get 18 hours of education right now. Our school, a lot of other schools are all putting in right now to start getting some classes identified as counting for broker education. We will get that going in the future, but you know, Crick's also not the most timely of entities to begin with. So we are doing our best to get that going on. We will start holding broker education moving forward, that kind of thing. But in the interim, be looking out for it. I know that Georgia MLS has a few classes, FMLS has a few classes. If you are an associate broker, please don't dawdle on this, because on July 1, if you get your license renewed after July 1st this year, you're going to have about 18 hours of broker education in it. So don't wait. It's really what I'm just trying to save us a little bit of headache here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Clicker is messing with me today. All the technical difficulties I'm getting. All right. Also, we talked about this last month, but if you don't know, we have our new agent planner. It is a monthly planner. You can get it from, if you go to Max One Rock /planner, you can get the agent planner to be able to download. I wanted to give you some tools to keep yourself organized and keep yourself, you know, set up. Basically, the big thing here is every week you go in, you set up your week beforehand. Then there's a daily planner for you working out everything in there. And then at the end of the week, there's a wrap up for what did you accomplish, and then getting set up for the following week. A lot of times we try and make goals that are like based on for the next year, for the next 6 months. Look, focus on the first week, right? Focus on this week, what's going on. That's really where it kind of starts. We can make great plans for December, but like you need to start that work right now. So we wanted you to have a tool to kind of jump into that one right there. And then I want to say congratulations to our top producers. And then we're gonna go to the local one. We still got more things going on. We've got more activities happening in every single office, but this was the kind of group part that we wanted to go through. And so I want to tell you thank you very much. And we're gonna get into the local meetings now. So love y'all.